Thank you very much. Cora for the ALDE Group.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much, Mr. Moscovici, for joining us here today. Our group also appreciates your package very much. We welcome it. And I think we agree with you that transparency is probably our most important weapon. But like I said in Strasbourg, doing the good things is not enough. You also have to do it well. And that's the reason I have some questions for you. The Commission's package, like it stands now, could create disputes and legal uncertainty because some of the concepts have not been clearly defined. For example, on the basis of the proposed General Anti-Abuse Rule, the GAR, national tax authorities can disregard companies' legal arrangements if these are carried out for the essential purpose of obtaining a tax advantage and are not put into place for valid commercial reasons which reflect economic reality. But what is the definition of essential purpose? And what are valid economic reasons exactly? We certainly do not want to create litigators' heaven with this, so please maybe you can clarify a little bit how you are going to tackle the definition problems. Then on the global context, in addition to what my colleague from EPP already asked, the US Treasury sent a letter to President Juncker a couple of days ago blaming the EU to undermine with its state aid investigations the existing cooperation in the field of anti-BEPS. And we would very much like to hear what your concrete response to that letter will be. And the final question, your proposal doesn't contain any transitional provisions in order for companies to adapt to this in time. Has the Commission taken this into account, and will there be sufficient time for Member States and companies to adapt? Thank you.
Merci, Monsieur le Commissaire.
Commissioner?
The letter from the U.S. Secretary for Treasury, Jack Lew, the Commission welcomes that the fight against tax evasion and tax avoidance is high on the political agenda on international, EU and national levels. All companies, no matter their nationality, generating profits in an EU country should pay taxes in line with national tax laws. Under EU stated rules, national tax authorities cannot give tax benefits to selected companies that are not available to others. In case such benefits have nevertheless been granted and are subsequently declared incompatible with EU stated rules, the Member States concerned must recover the amount that should have been paid from the company concerned, and this is a standard feature of the EU stated law. So the answer will be addressed by President Juncker, but EU law applies indiscriminately to all companies operating in Europe. There is absolutely no bias or discrimination against US companies, so we'll stay in close contact with the US authorities on this matter, and we do that already on several occasions, and we will try to give all the necessary clarifications. I will have myself, although state aid is not a matter in my portfolio, but in Madame Vestager's, the occasion to discuss that with Jack Lew in Shanghai next week in the G20 meeting. Pour ce qui est de la définition de la clause en...
As to anti-abuse clauses, these proposals in fighting base erosion enable us to deal with abuse where no specific legislation is in place. It's a sort of safety net. That's the point of it. It's supposed to be a catch-all clause. We do have a lot of provisions in the directive, and the directive is intended to deal with specific abuses, but this is a general catch-all piece of legislation which should hopefully deal with other abuses. We hope that we will have a comprehensive piece of legislation. The court has already given rulings on specific cases which have gone forward under the existing legislation.
We give the same as given by OECD. All OECD members will have to comply with it. Some member states have already started to draft legislation along the lines of our proposal, so we are fully on the basis of the BEPS agreement. Merci en définitive du soutien.
Thank you very much. as I conclude, for the support that you are giving us. We value your support very much.